You know the feeling, right? You're sitting in a big meeting, and this new strategy gets rolled out. It's bold, it's brilliant, everyone's nodding along. But then, a few months go by, and nothing's really changed. Well, the thing is, most strategies don't fail because they're bad ideas. They fail because nobody knows how to actually execute them. So, how do we bridge that huge gap between a vision on a slide and real action? So, what is it? What's the big roadblock that stops a great plan from becoming a great reality? It's usually not a lack of smart people or hard work. The problem, as we're about to see, is actually something a lot more fundamental. And this quote just nails it. We get these big, beautiful goals like become a market leader or innovate for our customers. They sound amazing, but they're way too vague for anyone to know what to do on a Tuesday morning. They're missing a clear, data-driven blueprint for action. And that right there is the strategy execution gap. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we close that gap? Well, we've got to move away from these vague words and start building a visual blueprint. We need a way to literally map out the journey from A to B, and that is exactly what a strategy map is designed to do. Now, a strategy map isn't just another corporate flowchart. I want you to think of it as the visual architecture of your plan. It's a genius way to take all those fuzzy but super important concepts, things like company culture or customer loyalty, and show exactly how they connect to create the hard, tangible results everyone cares about, like revenue. So here's what one looks like. And the real power of a strategy map is in its structure. It tells a story, a logical cause and effect story that you read from the bottom to the top. It connects the dots across 4 key parts of the business. It's not just a random collection of goals, it's a complete narrative of how you're going to create value. And this breaks that story down perfectly. See how it flows? It all starts at the foundation. If we invest in our people and our culture, what happens? Well, they get better at improving our key internal processes. And when our processes are better, we deliver more value to our customers. And what do happy, loyal customers do? They drive our financial success. Every single step logically leads to the next one. It just makes sense. Now, a big company-wide strategy can be like a complex piece of music. It's just a lot to take in all at once. So to make it manageable, we break it down into what are called strategic themes. Think of these as the main melodies that make the whole thing work. I mean, how great is that analogy? You can't just whistle an entire symphony from memory, right? But you can always remember the main tune. A strategic theme should be exactly like that. A simple, memorable piece of the plan that every single person in the organization can understand, remember, and, hum. And this is where these themes become so powerful, especially if you're in the world of data and analytics. They slice up the big strategy into focused chunks like operational excellence or innovation. This not only helps align different departments, but it lets you build specific BI dashboards to track the KPIs for each theme over the short, medium, and long term. Okay, so this isn't just theory, right? This framework is being used all over the place. Let's take a look at how real organizations are using these maps to pull off some incredibly complex strategies. All right, check out this map from NeoSystems. This is just for their innovation theme. You can literally trace their logic right on the page. They start at the bottom by focusing on keeping their most talented people. Why? Because that enables a world-class development process, which in turn leads to innovative products, and that directly fuels their #1 financial goal, growing revenue. It's a perfectly clear, logical path. And this is the magic link. This is where the strategy becomes a powerful tool for BI and data science. Those high-level objectives on the map get translated into cold, hard numbers. Retain key staff isn't just a nice idea. It's a KPI, 95% retention. Be innovative becomes a metric, a 9-month time to market. Every objective gets a target, which you can then track and visualize on a real-time dashboard. And the crazy thing is how incredibly adaptable this whole framework is. Look at this. On the left, you've got a strategy map for a children's hospital. On the right, a map for the entire economic development of Brazil. I mean, from healthcare to national policy, this shows it's like a universal language for turning any big vision into a measurable, executable plan. Okay, so the map shows us what we need to do, but it's the data that tells us how we're doing. A strategy map is just a pretty picture until you power it with real measurement. This is where we plug the map directly into the world of analytics and business intelligence. It really all comes back to this classic quote, doesn't it? If you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. The entire cause and effect logic of the strategy map depends on our ability to measure each and every step. Without the metrics, you're just guessing. But with them, you can manage, you can learn, and you can actually improve every part of the plan. So, what's the tool for all this measurement? It's something called the Balanced Scorecard. If the strategy map is your blueprint, then the Balanced Scorecard is your dashboard, your instrument panel. It's the system that holds all the specific KPIs, targets, and initiatives that feed directly into your BI platforms, letting you see exactly how you're doing in real time. This is such a brilliant example of making a scary goal achievable. So Consumer Bank wanted to boost income by $100 million. I mean, where do you even start with a number like that? Well, instead of just throwing that number out there, they used themes to break it down. They figured part of it would come from being more efficient, part from getting more business from current customers, and part from finding new ones. Each theme got its own metrics, making the huge goal feel totally manageable. And here's where the data analytics gets really sophisticated and even predictive. The bank could actually forecast when they'd see the payoff from each theme. The operational stuff, that delivers results fast, in the first year or two. Building deeper customer relationships, that takes a little longer. And the big innovation and growth plays, those are long-term. This is serious, data-driven planning that lets you put your resources in the right place at the right time. So when you boil it all down, that's the key takeaway here. A strategy map isn't really about coming up with a better vision. It's about making your vision real, making it testable, measurable, and executable by turning it into a clear, data-driven plan. So I want to leave you with this question. Just think about your own work, your own team. What's the one metric, the one number that truly proves you are succeeding and contributing to that bigger picture? Because figuring that out, that's the very first step to building your own map and turning your strategy into reality.